All right, guys, we got another one. And this is why I divorced such a good man. Let's check this one out and dissect it, shall we?
Why I divorced such a good man. Let's talk about it. So in my marriage, I did a lot of covering up. I did a lot of covering up what my husband was doing because I was ashamed. I was guilty. There was something in me that made me believe that because he wasn't doing the things that he had vowed to do, that I was somehow at fault, and that in a good marriage, you cover those things up. You cover for your husband. You have your husband's back. You don't air your dirty laundry out there. You fight for your marriage. You stay in your marriage. And this is what I was raised in. This is the culture. This is the mindset. This is sometimes being a believer in a church. That's what's heard, is that you stay in a marriage. And so you hear about, granddaddy and grandpa and the deacon in the church got a whole nother family. And you hear about all these things, and you believe that as a black woman that you have to suffer first before you get to love.
Where does she get that from? Who made that up? You have to suffer first. Stop it. Stop the cap. Okay. I don't know who's teaching her that. You have to suffer before she's talking gibberish. She's talking straight nonsense now, guys. I don't know where this is going, but I'm definitely interested in rubbing my hands together like Birdman because I want to know more. So let's see where this is going, shall we? Let's continue.
You hear the whole mindset of, granddaddy did grandma, he cheated, but then he settled down and now grandma don't want for nothing. That's because granddaddy old and crusty and don't nobody want him no more, right? So, but translated into my marriage, I thought that I had to cover up the things that were going on because in my head, I had what's called cognitive dissonance, which means that basically what I'm doing and what I believe are not the same. So either I need to change what I'm doing or change what I believe. And so because I had such a mindset that as a believer, you do not get divorced, I had to change the mindset to say, well, maybe it's something that I'm doing. Maybe I can, if I just, endure it, then he'll change and he'll become the guy that he was for the first 6 months of our marriage. And we're 3 years in and I haven't seen that guy again. And so when I filed for a divorce and when I finally decided that this was enough, I had so many people coming to me and asking me, hey, why are you letting such a good guy go? Hey, what's going on? I thought he was perfect and he was great. And I had to realize that not only was I divorcing the guy that was not good to me, I was divorcing the image that I had portrayed to everyone else. So now not only was I having to go back and tell the truth of what happened in my marriage and why it was going to divorce, I had to realize within myself that I was part of the reason why people couldn't understand why I was leaving such a good guy, because I had covered for him for so long. So if you're in that position and you felt that way before, then that's something that you have to own first and foremost, but not carry around, right? You were doing what you thought was best. You were doing what you thought you were supposed to do. And I get that and I understand that, right? And we move on, we grow, and we learn. Love you.
That's it. I'm going to stop it right there, man. I don't even want to go any further than that. I can't believe I let her talk this long. This is probably the longest I've ever let anybody talk in any of my content and go on the way she's going on, because I thought she was going to say something. I thought she was going to make some sort of sense. But like always, guys, when we're talking about women here, we're talking about illogical women here. This is what you receive. Okay. Always, every time. And this is a thing that baffles the mind. She literally talked for 3 minutes and said absolutely nothing. Okay. She didn't mention one thing, not one iota of anything her husband, quote unquote, her ex-husband did to make her file for divorce. She was talking about how she was covering up for him for what? What did he do? What was he doing that made you say, okay, after 3 years or wherever you mention how many years, you want to go ahead and file for divorce? Now, like I said, guys, women are the ones who file. Look at the numbers. They do not lie. They are the ones going and filing. They are the ones getting bored. They are the ones marrying men who they don't love out the gate because they think that they're going to have the good life, and they think that that's going to float them, and that's going to be all that they need. And then they realize that they were never in love with this guy, and they're so complacent. Okay, they're never satisfied. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying every woman, all right, but I am talking about the majority. I am talking about the majority, and I'm talking about the stats, because the stats don't lie. Most women file for divorce. That's just a straight fact. Okay. And she didn't give us anything that we could work with here on why she chose to do that. Nothing at all. Probably she just wanted to divorce this guy. She didn't love this guy, and she couldn't take it anymore. She wanted to divorce him, right? He didn't do it. She did it. And then they wonder why, when they get out here in these streets, okay, and they try to shop themselves around, and they wonder why there's no suitors. And then they're wondering why they're going to die alone, why they're destined for failure. They had somebody. They literally were just married, had a guy taking care of you, doing this, doing that. You were just unhappy for some reason. And it's always some small, minute reason. It's never the crazy stuff, guys. Now, if a woman is getting the brakes beat off of her, or, things of that nature, I understand that. Come on, man. I'm logical enough to understand that. All right. No one should stick around for an abusive relationship if it's around something like that. But I'm talking about a lot of these women making up things in their head, small things, okay, that bother them, okay, and they're using those things as an excuse to say, you know what, I'm done. And the reason why that is because they don't love the guy. They don't respect the guy. All right. No woman in her right mind who's in love or happy in her marriage is going to do anything like that. Period. All right. It's just not happening. And they're never going to tell you the full, complete story. You're never going to get the whole thing. They're going to paint their picture just like she did now. She talked a bunch of nothing. Nobody here listening to her talk knew why she got a divorce. Okay? At all. She didn't help anyone with this message. It helped no one, except let people know, other women know, that it's okay to be divorced. It's okay to get married and quit on your marriage. Period. Point blank. Okay? And I guess that's going to end this episode, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching this. And if you enjoy content like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. This is a new channel. I'm trying to grow our community. And I want to thank everybody who is subscribed to the channel thus far and moving forward, guys. So let's make this happen. And I'll see you in the next video.